what you see as the differences between what you will bring to the job and what your opponents will bring to the job. And this is a 2-minute question, and I would like to start with Mr. Iona first.
First and foremost, I am the only one on this panel up here who has had the opportunity and the experience to actually be in the executive office. Now, much will be said about the office of the Lieutenant Governor, but the only responsibility, the only mandate, the only legal mandate that you have as a Lieutenant Governor is to be ready to become governor. In other words, as we have a mantra amongst LGs, and that's this: you're one heartbeat away from being governor. I've had that opportunity to serve for 8 years as LG. I've been asked many times by my opponents up here, well, what have you done? What decisions have you made? And you've heard the referral, the Lingo Iona administration. Well, it's something that comes with that opportunity to serve as Lieutenant Governor. But all of you know that the decisions made by Governor Lingo are made by Governor Lingo because it's her administration. She is the governor. And that's why we're vying for governor as opposed to lieutenant governor, so that we can make the decisions. And so I relish that. That's the biggest difference we have. I've been there in the good times and the bad times. First 4 years that we had in 2002 to 2006, if you remember, the economy was booming in 2004, 2005, 2006. I saw the decisions that were made, I saw what was happening, and I learned from that. In our second term, from 2006 to 2008, the worst recession in the United States hit us. Talk about a bottoms out. Wake up one day, and let's just say you wake up one day and 20% of your income is no longer there. You open your bank account and there it is, 20% gone. Just like that. It's exactly what happened with Governor Lingo and the decisions that she had to make. I was witness to that. I had input in regards to that. I heard what was made, and I saw the pains that she had to go through to make the decisions she had to make. There's no one better qualified to step in right now and become governor of the state of Hawaii.
Thank you. Senator Ige.
I believe there are many differences, but let me just focus on a few. I'm the only candidate with 34 years of private sector experience. I have been committed for all of my public sector career to maintain my profession as an engineer and business executive because I believe that it made me a better legislator. I've worked from Fortune 500 companies to private equity, business, venture capital startup, and I really do understand the ranges and challenges of business issues that are faced by many of you business people. I have 29 years of legislative experience. I have been able to get past significant changes in legislation, from charter public school reform to charter bills to auto insurance reform. I'm the only one that have a proven track record of working with colleagues and having relationships with Speaker Suki and Chairman Luke and Senator Tokuda and Senate President Kim that can work with them to get things done. You know, I have relationships with the unions. We don't agree all the time, but my experience has been that in 90% of the issues, there is alignment between management and union. The HSTA wants to see children learn. They want the best public school system that we can have, and that's totally aligned. I have relationships with all of the unions. I can challenge them when it needs to be. I can work with them when it's to our advantage. And finally, I am the only true collaborator. What you guys see is what you get. They've been trying to change me, how I talk, how I speak. They can't do it. It is what it is. I'm the only collaborator. I have 29 years of working with people to get things done. You can't manipulate me. You can't train me to be a better speaker. It is what it is, and I'm proud to be that. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hanneman, before we go to closing statements, 2 minutes on what you see as the main differences between you and your opponents.
This is a job, again, that takes real executive experience. Senator Ige has been a wonderful legislator, but a legislative skills does not translate into an executive job. 4 years ago, I tried to explain the difficulty that our current governor would have going from strictly a legislative career and trying to make the transition to being an executive. It's like taking someone who's been playing on the offensive line all the years in football, and suddenly one year you say to him, I want you to be the quarterback, with no prior training. And a private sector career that only had maybe 100 employees under his watch is not enough to allow him to hit the ground running. I respect Duke Iona and what he's done in the judiciary. But once again, judiciary skills or being a lieutenant governor as an observer does not translate into a governor that can hit the ground running from day one. That's exactly what is required in this job, and I beg to differ with Senator Ige. Just because I'm an independent doesn't mean those relationships that I had in collaboration with the legislature is going to go away. Senator Suki and I have been, Speaker Suki and I have been longtime friends. 4 years ago, he endorsed me for governor. Senate President Donna Mercado Kim is my neighbor from our Hanabata days in Kalihi. Those relationships remain. Chan Tsutsui, who's running for lieutenant governor, endorsed me for governor 4 years ago. This is Hawaii. It's all about where you in school, where you hang out, who your friends. Those relationships will remain intact. And that's why you have to have someone with real executive experience, because you are tired of the problems that have been nagging you for years. Highest energy prices in the country, highest cost of living, affordable housing is just out of control. Bring someone in with real executive experience who can collaborate with Democrats, Republicans, business, and labor, and do what you want them to do as opposed to what the party tells them to do, or
Thank
partisan bickering that doesn't get
Thank
anywhere.
you, Mr. Hanneman. Each candidate is allowed to make a closing statement of 2 minutes, anything they would like to say.
I believe you all deserve a well round of applause for staying for 2 hours to listen to 3 politicians talk to you. Give yourselves a hand. It's been wonderful this evening. Thank you very much. But as I said earlier, if you are tired of the same old approaches, of solutions that don't get us anywhere, or the same old campaign style, look at what's happening right now before your very eyes on televisions. Democratic ads attacking the Republican nominee, Republican ads criticizing the Democratic nominee. What about you, the people? What about the ideas and solutions that we need to do to move this state and this county forward? Why not? Why not try something new? In life, when something's not working, when you're a coach and something's not working, you try a new play. You try a new way. You try a different way. That is what this state needs. Somebody who truly understands all of the islands, not just Oahu. Someone who can work with Democrats, Republicans, independents, business, labor, the community, to do what we need to do to move us forward. My lieutenant governor running mate has executive experience as a retired Air Force colonel overseeing 8,000 employees and $1 billion in revenues in Okinawa. You see, you have a team that's already been working together for 6 years, so you don't have to worry whether they're going to get along or not. We got along for 6 years at the city, in a cabinet that left the city of Honolulu better than we found it. So we want to take that skill set, we want to take that ability to listen to the people and make it happen. This idea of the Inter-Island Ferry Service didn't come from me, it came from you. 87% of the people of Hawaii want to see it happen, and that's the style of leadership that we will do. You want something, we'll go back and come back with a realistic, honest plan of how we can collaborate and do it together. Because it's all about the future, it's all about our keiki, it is making sure that Hawaii is the best place in the world. Mahalo, and thank you for being here this evening.
Thank you. I did want to thank the Hawaii Island Chamber of Commerce for hosting this evening. I wanted to thank all of you for sitting through and being willing to listen and hear our views of what being governor will be to each of us. You know, what you see is what you get. I mean, I am who I am. I've tried to be a better speaker, and sometimes I'm successful and sometimes not. But this election really is about the future of Hawaii. It's about the future that you and I want to leave for our children and our children's children. You know, I do have 3 children. I have worked hard to maintain my private sector career because I believe that it made me a better legislator. I truly believe that the point that I felt that I was a legislator over an engineer or business person, I needed to get out of that business. But I've been inspired to continue to provide public service because that allows me the opportunity to change Hawaii in a way that I would never be able to do it in the private sector. I decided to run for governor because it became clear to me that you want a change in leadership style. You're tired of pitting community against community, fighting about issues, when most of the time we have common goals and objectives. I bring to you a new style of leadership that will bring our communities together to find common goals and find solutions that move our communities forward. It's about making investments in public schools, about empowering schools. I understand it really is about the teacher in the classroom. We need to empower schools, deliver resources to the communities and teachers, and let them make the decisions. This election really is about the future of Hawaii. I ask you to support Lieutenant Governor Tsutsui and myself. I ask you for your vote on November 4th. Thank you.
First of all, thank you to all the sponsors and to all of you who are here tonight. As Mufi mentioned, 2 hours is a long time, and I thank you for that. The choice is clear in this campaign, in this election. You know, I like to think that my colleague to the left of me, Mr. Hanneman, I'll use the word that he used tonight, had this epiphany of being independent as a result of, well, he ran as a Democrat in 2010 and didn't get the result he wanted. Ran in 2012 as a Democrat and didn't get the result he wanted. And maybe that epiphany came after those two campaigns. But the bottom line is this, that you have this choice. You can either just do the kind of change that they're talking about where you change out the leadership, but you have the same system that has brought you the highest cost of living, that has caused us to be the most taxed in the United States, that has throttled small businesses for years and years and years, and as such, we are the worst place to make a living. Or you can vote for a governor that's going to take you in a new direction, because that's what I'm hearing. A governor who is committed, the only one who is committed to saying that we're going to have a business-friendly environment, that is committed to getting government out of the way of businesses and looking for ways to cut the cost of living by reducing our fees, by eliminating needless taxes, by not increasing the spending by $1.2 billion, by not approving over 40 tax increases and fee increases over the last 4 years. That's what you have in regards to Elwin Ahu and myself. You have a leadership team that is committed to taking you in a new direction. You know, Elwin and I, as I mentioned earlier, my only part in government has been as lieutenant governor. I really understand what trust, respect, and balance means as a result of my tenure as a judge, and so does Elwin. So come November 4th, please remember, if you want trust, respect, and balance, please vote for Duke Iona and Elwin Ahu. Mahalo.
Thank you.